Hello, hello, hello. You're welcome to the Greenfield podcast with your hosts. I'm Darragh Walsh, and this is my host, Brendan McCarnan.
Hello.
So, Brendan, what's been going on with life this week?
So I've been, as I said in the previous the previous podcast episode we done, I'm sort of focusing on my three things I'm trying to focus on are my diet, my sleep, and a few bad habits that have still sort of got lingering about. So today we're going to be talking about that very thing, habits, the bad ones, the good ones, the ugly ones, and all that good stuff.
Yeah,
So, what do you think is the most important habit, Dara? Most important habit? What do you reckon?
most important. Well, it depends on the person itself, I believe, to be quite honest with you, because what's important to me might not be important to you,
Hmm.
right? Whereas I find I like cold showers, and I think cold exposure is a necessity for anybody. So progressively overloading cold exposure. So if you want to get into cold exposure first, we can.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
And then we can go on to what one I think's the most important.
Yeah. So when it comes to cold exposure, you start easy enough, I think. And so just stand into the shower, turn it all the way to the coldest setting, turn it on, and stand under it for 10 to 20 seconds and hop back out again first thing in the morning. And you can progressively overload that over time. So, like to the point where you are either a psychopath like me who washes themselves in cold water,
Okay, mate, I do it as well.
an entire shower with just cold water. I'll tell you one thing, when I'm getting my hair washed at Zoe's house, and she's like, "Is this warm enough for you?" I goes, "Warm." I'm like, "Get that a bit colder."
Warm.
What do you mean warm?
Turn that down before you get dropped.
Stop. You're gonna get us cancelled on the second episode.
I didn't mean dropped as in punched. I meant dropped as in you're not my missus anymore. But
I wouldn't drop her over something stupid like that.
drop means something else up here.
All right, all right.
Yous are probably going to notice that a lot of miscommunication between us because he's from the south and I'm from the north. So there's a
Yeah,
not a language barrier, but definitely a linguistic barrier.
he's from the occupied north.
Aye, the
You,
occupied north.
you dirty Brit. I mean,
Um,
sorry, there was
I'm
no
a
need.
hybrid,
No need.
hybrid abomination.
Um, but then you can progressively overload that to uh, ice bath, swimming in the sea. If you're doing that, be very careful.
Yes, be
Yeah,
careful. You don't want to
yeah,
lose consciousness and drown and die.
yeah. You don't want to be one of those stories that me and Brendan will be hearing about on the news.
Man drowns in his own ice bath.
Yeah. Um, my personal recommendation for looking into cold exposure. Oh yeah, actually, before I say that, another tip when it comes to cold exposure is if you're having a cold shower, don't put it from warm to cold. Start it on the cold setting because you're not getting much of the benefits by going from warm to cold. You can go from cold to warm if you want, but I guarantee you won't want to if you start washing yourself. Um, but Wim Hof is the best person to go to, I think personally, for learning
Agreed.
the
He's the
endurance.
he's called the Iceman for a reason. The guy
Yeah,
holds world records for cold exposure. He's the guy to listen to.
exactly. He has a book, The Wim Hof Method, which I have. I couldn't be arsed going to find it at the moment because that would probably take too long. It's in a bag somewhere. So, but oh, I know where it is, but anyway. Um, he also has his app, the Wim Hof Method app. Now, there's elements of that you have to pay for, but if you even just use the free version for a while, then it's very beneficial, even just the free version. I have the app on my phone, I pay for it, but that doesn't mean you have to. And he doesn't post consistently on YouTube, I don't think.
I didn't even know he had a YouTube. I knew he had social media. I didn't know he had a YouTube.
I think he does have YouTube. I'm nearly sure he does. But as well, here's a good video for you to watch on YouTube. Him and Jesse James West done a collab where he took Jesse James West through a day in his life. Wim Hof. Yeah, he has a YouTube. He uploaded a month ago, but interesting. Better look into that and that report. But what's the next habit? What's the most important habit for you, Brendan?
So I'm glad you brought up the topic of books there, because I think, in my opinion, the most important habit anyone can do is read. Read books. Reading, reading, reading. Reading books is how you beat ignorance. It's how you learn new things. It's how you expand your horizons. It's how you enhance your cognitive ability. There's so many benefits to reading. I could literally go on and on and on for this whole podcast episode about it, but I have to I have to condense it down because I have to let Darragh speak as well. So so reading books is, in my opinion, the most important thing you can do. And if you're going to be on self-improvement, one of the pillars of self-improvement, as I know it anyway, is reading books.
Yeah.
There's so many good books out there. It's like the sky's the limit. There's millions of good books out there. There's ones you've never even heard of that are amazing. Some of the main books that I like to read are, or that I would recommend.
Yeah. Let's let me put you on the spot. Rather than naming out the books you recommend, here's an even better one. Top 10 books you would recommend people to read.
Top 10 books, right? Okay. Number one, for just general self-improvement, Atomic Habits. It's really, really good. It helps you build. It's literally what we're talking about in this episode. Helps you build good habits. Helps you break bad ones. Another one, Way the Superior Man. Again, another amazing book. Next is what's it called again? Obstacle is the Way. It gives you good mental, a good mindset towards overcoming challenges in your day-to-day life, and it helps you build an attitude of growth. Next one, loads of them down there. I'm trying to think of the ones I've read. Where's that one? What do you call it? What do you call it? The Dokoro. It's a bit of a strange one, but it was written by a guy called Miyamoto Musashi, and it teaches a lot of good life lessons that people on self-improvement can live by. It's another amazing read. The one I'm working through currently, is what do you call it? How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Yeah.
That's one of the best ones I think I've read, because it's one that I use day to day, and it works a treat. Like it's almost magical how well it works on people. But that's another good one. I don't even know if I've if I've completely read 10 books cover to cover since I've only started recently. But what else? What other good
Well,
books?
I'd name out my list.
Many have I read. How many have I named out there? Six.
I couldn't tell.
I wanna try and get the 10 here. I wanna try and get the 10. 10 that I know of at the very least that are good. What else?
Have you ever read the book Not a Life Coach by James Smith?
No.
Great book.
What's it called? Not a Life Coach?
Yeah.
Oh, there's another one. Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins.
Mm.
It's a bit of an autobiography, but he sort of talks you through what he was thinking at each point in his life and how he built that iron mental toughness he's known for now. That he's people make fun of him for how like crazy the man is. Like he runs Ironmans like every day basically. He's a nutcase, but his book is top notch.
And then a follow-up to, so obviously he has his two books, but a
Yeah.
follow-up. And I think this person is actually much better than David Goggins.
What?
And Jordan, is it Endure or Endurance? Cameron Haynes's book. Have you heard of Cameron Haynes, Brendan?
No, I'll have to look into that. Endurance. You've said he's better than David Goggins, so you've piqued
Yeah,
me interest now.
100%.
Yeah.
I love Cameron Haynes. He runs Ironmans. He has a full-time job. He is a professional bow hunter. Like this man, he lifts weights as well, and he
Mm.
balances that with having a wife and kids, a healthy relationship.
I suppose that would be a lot more relatable than what Goggins is doing. So
Yeah.
it's a bit like I said in the last one, it's easier to digest because he's more relatable. But yeah.
Another book that you missed out on, The 48 Laws of Power.
Ah, yes. I knew there was one I wasn't remembering. That's my
Um,
head like a
I've read
sieve.
that. I've read that cover to cover 3 times.
48 Laws of Power.
Do you know what the first law is?
Yep, because we were
Yeah.
talking about it the other week.
I gave you the
Yeah, he gave me the idea for a video for YouTube because I was sort of hitting a rut on YouTube. I didn't know what to make a video on, and he said make a video on the 48 Laws of Power, and I was like, what one would you recommend? He's like, the first law, you don't outshine the master.
never outshine the master.
Don't outshine the master.
Yeah.
If you want to know what that means, go and read the book.
Yeah.
um,
I'll share
yeah,
my Kindle with everybody. No, I won't.
that's 8 wrong. I'm getting the 10 books here. I'm getting the 10 books. I've read 10 books. I'm just terrible at remembering the names of them all.
Yeah.
I've got a last one that I want to recommend. It's a bit of for some people, it might be a controversial one, but I think it is a book that everyone should read, regardless of whether you believe it or not.
Yeah.
What other have I got there? There's one I haven't said. What is it? I've got a bookshelf here of books that I've read. Let's see. I've done that one. I've done that one. I've done that one. Is it this one? No, it's not that one. Ego is the enemy. There we go. That's the one I was looking for. Ego is the enemy. I find a lot of people nowadays have pretty bad egos. They sort of let their own self-image control their actions, and having a humble ego, having an under control ego is it's very important for not only for your own self-image, but it's good for other people's image of you
Mm-hmm.
because nobody likes an arrogant dickhead. Nobody, you know what I mean? Nobody likes a dickhead.
Yeah, not
So
like me, Brendan.
nah, like you, scumbag.
Um, Here's a good book, The 80-20 Principle. Richard, I don't know how to pronounce that surname.
Is it Richard?
Koch.
No, I was thinking of someone else there. No, it's not.
Richard Koch or something his name is.
Um,
Koch. Richard Koch.
Weird cock. And then the last one is the one I was saving for was the Bible. The Bible. Now, I understand that I'm gonna probably scare a lot of people saying that. There's some people that burn in the sunlight when the word Bible is mentioned, but the lessons that Jesus talks about in the Bible are, whether you believe in it or not, are like they are the magnum opus of learning about empathy and kindness and being able to treat others well. Like, whether or not you believe in Jesus, right? You can't deny that the man was real. He's a historical figure. Like, there's no questioning that the man was alive at some point. Like, that's an undisputed historical fact, whether you believe it or not. And the stuff that's written about him shows that he was a paragon of social justice. Like, the man uprooted so many commonly held beliefs at the time. About one example would be how to treat the poor. Poor people were seen as outcasts because the position they found themselves in, where they had nothing, that was seen as a punishment from God. So other people didn't want anything to do with the poor because they thought that that punishment was contagious. Jesus completely turned that on his head. He always, always, always treated the poor with kindness. He always went out of his way to help them. There's many stories of him helping people. You have the blind beggar, you have the the prostitute that wept at his feet. Like, there's loads of examples of him showing how we should treat others in our day-to-day life. And I think, whether you believe in it or not, he is a good figure to draw advice from.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah. So
Um,
I think I got the 10 there.
yeah,
If
I think
I was able to count the 10 in my head properly, I think I got the 10.
yeah, and I think you got most of the books. Couple of books on making money. I'll throw in Alex Hormozy, $100 million offers and leads.
Yeah.
Um,
I haven't even read a load of those books. I actually do have one of them books. I've got dot com secrets. I can't remember what the name of the guy is that
yeah,
wrote it,
actually,
but
I was gonna buy that one actually. Yeah.
I've only read through a bit of it. I sort of stopped reading through it because it wasn't really helping me from where I was.
Okay.
So I
And
didn't
then
I didn't give it a read, but that's from what I read so far in it. It is a very good book.
The Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco. Good book.
Yeah, that's one that people like Hamza preach about.
Yeah, and that's where I heard of it from, read it from. Um, I just got it on my Kindle and got listened to it as I walked around. It's a good actually tip is buying the book on Spotify and listening to it rather than listening to music.
Yeah,
But next habit, meditating. How
meditating.
consistent are you
Another
on
another very important one.
How
Um,
consistent are you at meditating?
Nearly every day.
Yeah.
I don't do it for overly long periods of time, but I do it nearly every day.
Yeah, I try to do it every day.
Yeah.
Sometimes every second day it turns out to be, but I'm getting more and more consistent on it, so can't ask for much more than that. Recommendations with meditating is to just sit on your floor. Anybody who watches my YouTube would be familiar that I'm very fond of sitting on the floor.
People
Um,
can't tell with me, but I'm the same. I always sit on the floor when I'm recording videos.
yeah, and you just, I usually just listen and hear the birds tweeting and focus on that and only that, and focus on my breath through being aware of the birds, and you can feel your heart beating all the way through your body.
That's whenever we first started talking, I started explaining that to you, and it broke your mind. You were like,
Yeah,
"What?
no,
How can you feel your own heartbeat without putting your hand on your chest?" It was like, if you meditate for long enough, you will start to feel your own heartbeat. I'm not even lying.
Yeah.
But that's what I focus on now. I don't even focus on my breath anymore. I focus on my heartbeat in my chest because it's really hard to focus on it because it's so faint. But because you're focusing so hard to try and feel it, it actually makes it easier to not lose focus. Do you know what I mean? Because if you're focusing really, really hard on something, other things sort of get blanked out.
Yeah.
And I find that's a good way to, because the thing with meditation is you're trying to keep focus on this one thing that you've picked. So Dara said the birds or your heartbeat or your breath, whatever it may be, you're trying to keep your focus on that thing. And when you lose focus, basically the whole point of meditation is to try and bring your focus back to that thing as quickly as possible and not sort of go off on a train of thought. So I find whenever you're focusing really, really hard on something that's really, really difficult to actually focus on, because you're focusing so hard on it, it's easier to keep your train of thought focused on that thing.
Yeah. Um, yeah. I just need to take a quick waz, so I'm gonna pause it here for a minute and we'll be back. So the next habit that we're going to talk about is journaling. So there's two different types of journaling. There's journaling in general, and there's gratitude journaling. And I would recommend do both. So when I wake up in the morning, I gratitude journal. So I write down, I write a letter to someone I'm grateful for. And I don't send it to them more often than not. I don't anyway. And when I write one about Zoe, um, I said her name. When I write one about my girlfriend, um, I yeah, I send it to her. But other than that, I wouldn't send it to anybody.
He told himself he spilled the beans.
Yeah.
He spilled the beans.
Right, these things are going to happen. I'm just, I see, I'm having a conversation with you, Brendan, so I'm so used to just saying, you
I
know,
just blurting things out with no care in the world, but we're not having a private conversation anymore. We're in front of people. So let's see how well you can what's the word? How well you can what is the word? My mind's drawing a blank here. Water down, let's say. Water down what you were gonna say.
you know, when I do a
That's the word I
gratitude,
was looking for. How well you can censor what you're gonna say.
when I gratitude journal for Zoe, oh my God, Brendan, I send her. I can get in
Well,
fucking.
let's hear it. What things are you thankful for your missus? What what things make you happy about her? Let's hear it.
Okay, so she does everything for me. Like when I'm at her house, she'll make me my breakfast. Um, she accompanied me to A&E when I was sent there. Like within 10 minutes of hearing it, she found a way to get there, meet me there. Um, she's loving, she's caring. She's everything I could really ask for. She's beautiful, she's feminine. Um, yeah, I could go back on my records and just, but I'm not going to do that.
We'll say we'll leave that for you too.
Yeah.
There's
Um, uh, but
some things not even I'm privy to.
yeah, exactly. There's some things I don't tell you even.
Yeah.
Which is obvious, but um, so as well then, with gratitude journaling, you don't have to send it if you don't want to. Just write a letter for someone you're grateful for, and um, in the evening then with the journaling, just journal about what you done well today, what you could improve on, etc. Stuff like that, you know, and it'll just it'll help clear your mind better. And if you have any problems throughout the day, write them down. And if you write something down, it's better than talking about it, I believe. Um, you want anything to add to that, Brendan?
So the way you were saying about like gratitude letters, so you're basically writing them for a person, but you don't send it. The next step of that would actually be actually sending it to the person, because I've done this once before. I just finished school, and I actually sent my religion teacher a gratitude message. It wasn't like it wasn't a letter. I sent her a text message basically, but I sent her a gratitude message, and she was over the moon about it. And you know what? It made me feel really fulfilled and happy being able to tell a person how important they are, because it improves their mood, it improves your mood, it makes you feel better being
Mhm.
able to make other people feel happy. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
Like she wasn't expecting this at all, but I always thought she was a really lovely teacher, and I just wanted to send her a message to let her know that.
yeah.
So like,
Um,
if there's someone that you're struggling, or if there's someone that you know is maybe struggling or something, send them a gratitude message.
yeah, it'll
Send them a
improve.
wee message just saying that you're grateful for them,
It
because
might
it can really. Sorry, go ahead, Dar. Yeah.
improve your relationship with them. Maybe it won't, but like at least you could say you tried, and you'll feel better about it then. Like because it doesn't always work. I'll tell you that from personal experience. But um, like, but if you do it, like you won't regret doing it. I'll tell you that much.
No, you won't,
Mm.
because you don't know what people are going through. Sometimes just a letter of thank you is all someone needs.
Yeah. So the next habit that we will be talking about is fitness. Um, the style of fitness I'm into is bodybuilding. I'm a bodybuilder basically, or trying to be, and so I just basically lift weights and eat.
I lift things up and put them down.
Yeah. Um, I'm pretty sure everybody here is familiar with bodybuilding anyway,
Yeah.
so I don't think I need to elaborate on that. There's also powerlifting. Um, there's what Brendan does, which I don't even know. What do you do?
What do you do? What do you do? Um, my mainly for fitness, because my main source of fitness has been MMA,
Yeah.
mixed martial arts. So a lot of the fitness I do is cardio based and conditioning based.
Okay.
So I might not be as good at lifting weights as Dara, but I could run circles around him in the long term. But
I don't
that's
think
you
you
know
know.
that shows the different kind of trainings. He'd probably be a lot stronger than me, but I'd be a lot fitter. But I don't know,
I
whatever
don't
way
think
you want
I don't
to.
think
Yeah,
we'll find out when we meet up. But
I will find out. We'll have a
because
race. We'll see who can run for longer.
when did you start? When did you start martial arts?
I think now 11 years ago.
Yeah, and I'm doing it.
I
What
think
age am I now?
11,
I'm 19. And what age is it? Yeah, I started 14 years ago. So
14. Yeah. So
um
we've both been doing it for fucking ages.
yeah, so I would still beat you. Yeah,
Aye, whatever. You were doing that fake taekwondo shit. I was doing real fighting.
Mhm. What type of fighting you do then? Well, enlighten.
um, Mixed martial arts, so jiu-jitsu, wrestling, Muay Thai, kickboxing, boxing, everything, mix of everything.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, I'd be I'd beat you on the feet anyway. I know that.
Aye, would you?
I'll find out in the tournament of power, won't we?
See, this is the kind of conversations we have now. It's just us going, "Oh, would you beat me? Oh, we'll see, we'll find out."
Yeah, because we're fighting in the tournament, so
Aye, well, you and Liam have both been chatting mad shit about me, so I have
Yeah, and
to
I'm gonna
have to knock you down a peg. You've said you're gonna submit me and all.
I'm
You're
gonna
gonna
beat you at
you're
your
gonna
own
beat me at
game.
jiu-jitsu and you've never done it. That's a
I'm gonna
cracker.
beat you at your own game.
I,
You're tapping, bro. You're tapping, bro. I'm telling you now, bro.
you're get, I've told him what way he's being finished and all as well.
Yeah, and I've told you what way you're getting finished.
I've done a Conor McGregor. I've anticipated what way he's gonna lose before it happens.
Look,
But here,
I'm gonna deliberately
I
take
thought
you
I
to the
thought
ground.
that's all in the future. Let's not go off on a tangent here arguing
Yeah,
about whose dick is bigger.
it's mine. But
Anyway, yes.
but
So mainly cardio and conditioning I'm sort of into. So a lot of my fitness stuff is mainly for health reasons specifically.
yeah,
Um
and I'm all about the looking good side of things.
yeah, he's all about the aesthetics.
Yeah, I
Not to
want to
say I
look.
don't look good, like, but maybe not as good as him.
What?
He's got. I said, not to say I don't look good, but maybe not as good as him.
Yeah, definitely not. Well, like I've been sick lately, so you probably do look a bit better than me.
All your gains have withered away,
Yeah.
and
So,
I'm still here, strong as ever. Oh,
no,
uh, flexing at the camera. What do you like?
but
Right. Um.
so
Anything else?
no, it's just like find whatever fitness works for you, and like you don't have to do bodybuilding, you don't have to do martial arts. Like you can do powerlifting. There's so much out there. Like find what's for you, and like my recommendation to anybody is to if you is to get into bodybuilding because that's what I do. So I'm going to promote that, like,
Yeah.
And I think if you look your best, you're going to feel your best.
Yeah. 100%.
Like there's like literally being big. Like here's a Sam Sulek quote: "Being big is a flex because you're walking around with results that you had to earn, results you had to put the hard work in, and everybody can see that. Like it
Nice.
can't be like building an aesthetic body, getting big. It can't be given to you. And even if you're taking steroids, you still have to put in the work. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Nobody can see Brendan's amazing lung capacity. That's all hidden on the inside. No,
yeah,
nobody can see how fit I am. Building an aesthetic body is the best way to feel better about yourself.
yeah.
Definitely.
Let's see how good your lung capacity is when I kick you in the liver.
Oh, you still going on about that? Can't let go. He's so eager. I love it. He's so eager to fight me. If you don't know what
It's
we're
gonna be a
talking
bit of
about,
fun.
basically we're having a big MMA meetup and everybody's fighting each other in a tournament
Yeah.
thing.
It's gonna be a
Um,
lot of fun, but
it's gonna be
we'll
good.
save the shit talking for the group chat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's too much shit talking.
Yeah,
Hey,
you're the
I'll
one that's
say what
talking
I've been
shit.
saying for the last load of weeks.
I'm
Talk
talking
is
facts,
cheap.
you're talking shit.
Talk is cheap.
I'm talking facts, you're just talking shit.
Aye.
Right? But
Okay.
yeah, now we'll move on to dating because it's an integral part of self-improvement, and
Yeah.
those on the Sigma male grind set are copers.
I'm gonna take a back seat here because I've very little dating advice to give here.
Yeah,
Dar's more of the main man for that. He's done a
yeah.
lot more of it than me. So take it away, Dar.
What do you mean a
I'm
lot
learning just as
more?
much as anyone else here, so let's hear it.
What do you mean a lot more?
No, I said I'm a lot more, mate.
Um, but yeah, no.
Well,
My
do you want me
advice
to spell
is
it out for everyone? Do you?
what?
Do you want me to spell it out for everyone? Do you make myself look like more of a dick?
Um,
All right, go speak. Let's
right.
hear.
So my number one piece of dating advice is just be yourself. Like, be authentically you. Now, that's the thing as well with it is like your future wife is probably not going to fall in love with the current version of you. So that's where the self-improvement has to come into it. And that's where becoming the best version of yourself plays key to the entire thing. Because you there's no point pretending to be Hamza, Iman Gadzhi, Andrew Tate, because that's just a persona, a fad that you're probably not going to be able to keep up for a long period of time. So my recommendation with it is be yourself, put your best foot forward, and show the best version of yourself. And that means being in good shape. That means being well groomed, having good personal hygiene, and you need good game. Like you literally need good game. And like I could tell you how to attract a woman, but I'm not going to because um I don't know what our viewers are looking for, whether they're looking for casual hookups or whether they're looking for a long-term relationship. But my personal recommendation is to forget hookup culture completely, settle down early, and find your future wife early. And yeah, just forget about hookup culture and settle down into a long-term relationship with the intention of getting married. Don't get into a relationship unless you see yourself marrying the person you're getting into a relationship with. And then how you attract her is by being yourself, being the best version of yourself you can possibly be, having good fashion sense. So, like wearing clothes that fit you, not smelling, maybe add a bit of accessories, whatnot, you know, and don't be a weirdo, like,
Well, see, that's me being weirdo. Don't be a weirdo.
Oh, um, now different ways you can find your future wife. Tinder. Now I tread carefully with that one. And as Brendan knows himself, people like us don't generally get good reception on dating apps.
No, far
Uh,
from it.
Now, I wasn't on any dating apps. Like I was on Tinder and all for a month or two, and then I just deleted the app off my phone. So, um, my personal recommendation is cold approaching. I've gotten really good at cold approaching. That's how I met my current girlfriend is by cold approaching. So, um, will I tell the story, Brendan, or
Let's hear it.
yeah? So I was
Let's
sitting on the
let's
bus. Huh?
let's hear the boss master doing his work. You'll understand why he's called the boss master in a minute.
So I was on the bus on the way to college, and um, we were just sitting there, and this person got on the bus, and they sat on the seat across from me, and I was having a conversation with the person beside me, and the person on the seat across from me, and then she came on and sat down across from me as well. So I joined her in the conversation. Things flowed, and it was just a conversation between the two of us. Got her socials, chatted up a good game. Was telling her about at the time I had great intentions of going professional in MMA. Now I'm not too sure. I don't
Uh,
think that
we've all crossed that threshold. Like I was the
yeah,
same.
yeah. Then I was so I talked up a good game and got her socials. We started talking from there, went on a date, and we lived happily ever after. the end.
Happily ever 6 months.
Yeah, but yeah, like I couldn't be happier.
One thing I will say is, right, just something you haven't mentioned. The downside to cold approaching is you don't actually know what you're getting yourself into
Mm,
because you know nothing about this person.
yeah,
They could be exactly what you're looking for, or they could be the complete opposite.
yeah, but you have to have my
That's
recommendation for finding your future wife is you need to sit down with a piece of paper and write down everything you want your future wife to have. You need to have a list,
yeah,
and you need to be able to tell me like this is what she's gonna look like, stuff like that, and hold yourself to that until you find the person that matches that description.
I
Don't
think
settle for anything less.
yeah, have good standards. Don't lower your standards just for the sake of trying to get into a relationship because it's only going to burn you
Hmm.
later on.
Yeah, I agree.
Because this is the person. Well, at least in my and Dara's case, we're imagining this is the person you're going to be spending the rest of your life with. So you want them to be as good for you as possible.
Yeah, and when it comes to cold approaching, you've got to realize like you know that not everybody wants to be approached, and there might be a bit of pushback. So you're going to have to just go with the flow of what's happening. The best line is always "Hi, my name is." I'd recommend starting with that or pointing out something you noticed about them. Don't be creepy about it, of course. And yeah, Brendan, I'm going to teach you a bit of cold approaching, aren't I?
Yeah, he's gonna pull out all the stops for me. I'm gonna
Yeah,
pull 50 women in my first day using the Bossmasters methods.
sure. Um, so I will educate you in theory, and I'll watch you do the practice.
Hmm, terrified. I'm a nervous wreck.
You'll be fine.
Speak I. That's what I keep telling myself. It's only a person. Don't be afraid.
Yeah, you
Uh,
pretend you're talking to one of the lads. Brendan goes up and smacks him.
yeah,
um, like, you need to, like, it's a skill everybody needs, is to be able to get a woman, like, because, like, how else are you going to procreate?
yeah.
Mm. But have we missed out on any self-improvement habits, Brendan, or do you think we got them all?
I'd say we got the main ones. The the main the pillars, as it were.
Yeah. So,
Pillars pillars of self improvement.
yeah, just remember to tune in every Sunday on Spotify, YouTube, or Rumble, whatever you use the most. Follow the Instagram and TikTok for this account, where you'll see clips, and it's just the clips will just be the short form will just be a reminder of what we said, like it'll just be what we're saying here. If you need extra reminders, it's great to rehear stuff 2 or 3 times sometimes just to get a feel for everything. But that's it. And me and Brendan will I link our YouTube's down below. I link my Instagram down below. And Brendan, if you want your Instagram link, you can as well. And that's it for this week. So we hope to see you all next week. Do you have anything you want to add, Brendan?
Uh, don't be a dick. Be nice to people.
Right. Remember, the only thing that's doing the same is doing the same.